Enter for a chance to win an awesome prize every week. All you gotta do is be subscribed and like my videos. For more information, check the description box below. This video is sponsored by Fanatic.dk.
What is going on, guys? DrJo here with another Magic video. Today we're opening yet another Hour of Devastation pre-release pack or pre-release kit. And hopefully we can build ourselves an awesome deck and get some awesome pulls from these Hour of Devastation booster packs. And before I start the video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Magic openings. Alright, you guys, so without further ado, let's get into this box right here. There we go. So in the first one, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out after this one. But I pulled Nicol Bolas in a booster pack, which made me go into building a Grixis deck, or Grix Shadow deck. So for our foil, we have a Wildfire Eternal. Haven't actually seen this card. I don't know if it's something we want to get into. It could be. We're starting with the Amonkhet packs for sure. Okay, so if you haven't seen the other video and you're new to these pre-releases, you get a die, 20-sided dice, and you get this, the 5 hours, which is you completing something. When you're seeing this video, your pre-releases are most likely coming to a close, so you won't actually have much out of that information until your next pre-release. Okay, so you get this, it's a little bit of a story catch-up in the Magic lore, who is Nicol Bolas and all that. And then there's a recipe on how you build a sealed deck, how much you need of each to be competitive, like non-creature spells, creatures, and the amount of lands that you need, and how many cards you need to build a deck. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty good. You should definitely consider using that if you're new to this. All right, you guys, so let's check out this promo that we got. Let's just see if the effect on this one is worth playing. So it's a 1/4 for 4 mana, and it has Afflict 4. So that means whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 4 life, which is pretty good. Whenever Wildfire Eternal attacks and isn't blocked, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. Now that is bonkers right there. That is so good, very good. Yeah, it's so amazing, very awesome. Definitely playable, but you need the right backup in order to make it worth it. So we have these 6 booster packs, 2 of them being Amonkhet, the biggest set, and then there's this small set, Hour of Devastation, which is coming out on the 14th of July, and you get 4 packs of that. So let's start off with the Amonkhet boosters right here. Let's see if we can get something awesome. So for our first pack, we have a Harvest Season. Now this is a card that I won't say a lot about it, because I really thought it was going to be a good card for standard play, but it really has turned out it's not. Some pretty good uncommons, at least. This one, the blue one, is actually pretty good. So for our commons, yeah, okay, it does look, okay, actually a lot of good green cards, so maybe, yeah, we'll have to see. So we'll just put them like this for now. So there's a rare pile, an uncommon pile, and a common pile, and then when we get into the deck building, okay, that's a pretty awesome pull right there, you guys. Oketra the True, double strike, indestructible for 4 mana. It's a 3/6. It can't attack or block unless you control at least 3 other creatures, and you can create white warrior creature tokens with vigilance for 4 mana. So she is all right for limited play. She hasn't seen much, if any, standard play, but it's definitely a fairly good pull for a sealed deck. But it really depends on what support we get. And I see Okay, Sensor is definitely worth going into for the uncommons. We got a lot of strong blue uncommons right here. And yeah, pretty much also with white looking all right. Yeah, we can actually, I think it's too soon to tell what colors we are, but we did pull some awesome cards. We have a lot of bombs. So what's this pack? It's a Mirage Mirror, cost 3, it's an artifact, and it costs 2 to activate. So Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end of turn, which is, you know, all right. It's nothing, you know, too crazy, but yeah, it's fairly okay. So this one is actually all right if you have a bomb in your deck, but it's most likely only going to be worth it if you have something like, you know, Bolas or something. Another great. Oh, this is this is going to be a tough pool, you guys. I'm actually seeing a lot of cards that I want to go into, but we're going to have to make some hard choices. So, Rumnap Excavator. You may play land cards from your graveyard. I feel like this card is pretty good, but you need the support to play it. You need cycling, you need discarding. I'm sorry, not cycling, but discarding you need. Supreme Will, also one of the good uncommons. Yeah, pretty all right. Yeah. Blue is so strong in this pool. We could, yeah, and again, another very great blue card. Unsummon also. It does seem like we're going to be, I would say maybe white, blue, or blue-white, and then splash red or black. Not really sure if we are going to splash anything. Hollow One. Very, very, very good card, you guys. So it's a 4/4 for 5. It's an artifact creature, and Hollow One costs 2 less to cast for each card you've cycled or discarded this turn. So yeah, that's pretty bonkers. Wow, that's an awesome rare. Very nice for sealed pool. Another blue. Oh yeah, yeah. So green is catching up again. It's looking all right for the green pool. Life goes on, not that good. This one is all right. Sidewinder Naga. Open Fire is pretty good. This one, green removal, also pretty good. This is gonna be a hard one, you guys. Because there's not like, you know, in my last pool I was like, well, I pulled Nicol Bolas, so I'm gonna play Nicol Bolas. Easy peasy. But this one has a lot to offer. Oh my god, another strong green pull, really? And it's the cat archetype. Oh, wow, this is gonna be tough, you guys. We'll have to see if we get any support for it. Counter target blue spell was a Jace Planeswalker. Yeah, not that good. Target creature gains 3/3/3 and gains flying until end of turn, which is pretty good, and also has another upside. So yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. And we have, yeah, this is actually, yeah, it's all right. This one is, no, that's a vanilla creature, not that good. Survivor's Encampment. Yeah, it's good for splashing, I guess. All right, you guys, so we pulled all the cards that we have, and I'm gonna pause the video for now, build a little bit of a deck here, and then figure out what we're gonna be along the way, and then I'll introduce you to the cards that I chose to play and why I chose to play those. So yeah, see you in a bit. All right, you guys, I'm back, and so I built the deck that I thought was gonna be the best in this sealed pool. So before we go into the deck, let's just see what I chose not to play. So I didn't choose to play this one, the Wildfire Eternal, and I've cut out some cards that I didn't think I was gonna use. Black didn't actually hold any, you know, particularly good cards, neither did red. It didn't have the support that it needed. Green, however, was definitely very good. White was also pretty good. I chose to cut the hollow one since I didn't have that many cycling in or discard in the deck, so that's not going to be useful. This one seems pretty slow. I don't know about you guys and how good this card actually is, but I'm not going to test it out for sure, because if I'm at a pre-release, I want to win. So let's get into the build here, you guys. Of course, our bomb is going to be Oketra. There is actually a real bomb in here that is better than Oketra because I chose to splash white. And the reason for that is there weren't that many, you know, over the top white cards in the pool, considering that green and blue was just so good. I mean, seriously, it was crazy. So let's go over the creatures first, then we can go into the spells, and then we can go into the lands that I also chose for this one. So Oketra is our, well, it's our mythic bomb, but I'll show you the real bomb in this deck. So for the first card, we have Spellweaver Eternal. It's a 2/1 for 2 mana. It has prowess, so whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this one gets +1/+1 until end of turn, which is pretty good for 2 mana. Then it also has Afflict at 2, so whenever it becomes blocked, the defending player loses 2 life, which is also, you know, pretty good. And green has the support to pump it up and then make it even bigger, forcing them to block, and then, you know, it does its thing. It's a good card for 2 mana, definitely. And then we have the Bitterblade Warrior. I actually just needed another 2-drop. It's just a 2/2 for 2, but it also has the Exert effect, so that when it attacks, you can choose to exert it. It gets +1/+0, and then it gains Death Touch until the end of turn, which is, yeah, pretty good. It gets rid of a lot of things, and people might be too afraid to block it, so you can get some damage in that way. Feral Prowler, it's a cat. It goes well with the next card in our 3-drop slot that I'm going to show you, which is also a cat. So when it dies, you draw a card, and it's a 1/3 for 2, which is, you know, it's not that good, but the draw is just so good. So Rona's Stalwart, it's basically also just an exert card. It's a pretty aggressive card, so I'm most likely just going to play this as a 2/2 for 2, and we need a lot of those, so yeah. Now we're moving into the 3-drops. We have this one. It's the Hooded Brawler. It's a 3/2 for 3, and you can exert it to gain +2/+2, which is, you know, freaking amazing. It's a 5/4 until end of turn. It doesn't untap until next, but I have some cards, you know, you'll see, that can make it untap. So I chose to play 2. It seems like a pretty good card. I'm not actually sure about it, but I think it is. So this is the cat creature that I was talking about, Pride Sovereign. On its own, it's not that good. It's just a 2/2 for 3, but the exert effect, that you can pay 1 white mana and then tap it, and then, you know, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. And then it also gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. So just imagine this. You're playing your cat creature like that, and then you're playing this on turn 3, which means it's a 3/3 for 3. You know, it's a pretty good deal. Then next turn, you can actually tap it in order to create 2 1/1s with lifelink, and then it becomes a 5/5. That is a huge tempo swing. And with all the blue cards that I chose to put in here, just to have the, you know, bounce effects and all, you're gonna get pretty much a huge tempo swing in this. So for our 4-drops, we have Steadfast Sentinel. It is a 2/3 for 4. It has Vigilance, and you can also Eternalize it for 6 mana. So it's also a late game card. Very versatile, very good. Had to put it in. This one, you guys, this one is so good. 4 mana for 2/3, nothing too special, but it has Flash and Flying. For 4 mana. Yeah, it's a good card. Vizier of the Anointed. It's a 2/4 for 4, so it's nothing too special, but it's pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with Eternalize or a Balm, and put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. So if you play this on 4, and you have this in your deck, you can search it, you can put it into the graveyard, and then you have a certain 4/4 with Vigilance for 6 mana when you get to 6 mana. So it buys you even more time, actually. And we have Oasis Ritualist. This one is pretty much just in here to give me the mana that I need. So add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool if you tap it. And then it's also kind of like, you know, a ramp card. You can exert it, which means when you tap it, you can add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. So it's ramp and it's color fix in 1 card. Very good. So 5-drop. It's a 4/4 for 5. And it has vigilance and reach. So it pretty much takes care of all of those 5 cost and below flyers that you want to deal with. Also, it takes care of, well, it's just, you know, a stab for 4 since it has vigilance. You can just go ahead and do that if you want to. This is, however, the real bomb in this deck, guys. It's a 7 mana. It's pretty high costed, but it has hexproof and it's a 5/5. Also, it cycles, so a lot of versatility in this card, but hexproof is just so hard to. It's going to be a huge problem for your opponent to get rid of this one. So I feel like that was worth putting in here. Also, the Cryptic Serpent with all the spells and sorceries and instances we have in the deck. It's going to most likely all the time cost about 5, I think. So it's another 5-drop. We don't have that many 5-drops, so it works being at 5, 6, and 7. And if you cast it for lower, that's pretty good. It's highly unlikely, but it's pretty good. And this is 6/5 for, you know, 7. So not that good, but you're most likely going to cast spells throughout the game. So it's not going to be a huge problem to get it down to at least 6 or 5, which makes it, yeah, a pretty good deal. So, Sifter Worm, this one has Trample. It's a 7/7 for 7, so nothing too special. But when it enters the battlefield, you can scry 3, and then reveal the top card of your library, and then gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Yeah, I think, you know, it's all right. It's basically just a 7/7 for 7 Trampler, which is good on its own, and then there's a double-sided where you can, like, if this one was revealed through the scry, you could get, you know, 7 life, which is pretty alright. So it would gain you 7 life for 7 mana, but it will also give you a 7/7 body for 7 with trample, and that would be freaking amazing. So the card is good on its own, even when the life gain isn't, you know, doing the things that you want it to do. So for the sorceries and instants, we have Unsummon. And this one is a pretty huge tempo swing in my opinion. It's not as good in the early game as it is in the late game, but in the late game it's going to shine pretty much on everything that you do. It's such a good card. You know, it's just, you can return a card to your opponent's hand, or I mean a creature, so it's pretty good. This one, we can't obviously use Oblivion, but we can, however, use the first instant effect for 2 mana, which is return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand at instant speed for 2 mana. Yes, I'm gonna play that. No chance not to do it. So, Censor, also a pretty good card for 2 mana, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. Yeah, it's good, especially in the early game. It's very good. So yeah. Supreme Will is counter target spell unless its controller pays 3 and it costs 3 mana to cast. You can also choose, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library, which is going to be pretty good if you want to fix your mana or even just, you know, counter a spell. So yeah, overall pretty good card. Then we have some green removal. Love when I see these. Instant, and it costs 3 to cast. Target creature you control gains +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls, which is, yeah, you know, green removal. So very good. Synchronized Strike. It's an instant at 3 mana. Untap up to 2 target creatures. They each get +1, +2/+2 until end of turn, which is I talked about earlier. Let me just show you the cards. Hooded Brawlers, like you could exert them. So if you have them on the board, attack, you go in for 10, and your opponent is thinking like, now I'm gonna kill him. You can just, you know, cast this spell, and then they're gonna be like, oh man, I weren't ready for that, you know, so pretty good. I'm not sure about harvest season yet because it seems like I thought about it. I really thought hard and long, giggity, about this, and it's like you search your library for up to X basic lands, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control, and put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. I thought this was all right. You most likely only gain 1 to 2 lands when you play it on 3, but I was thinking, like, when you get into your deck, there are only 40 cards in a deck like this. So when you get into your deck, you want to find all the creatures that you're going through. You don't want to draw lands, basically. So when you use this at later stages of the game, so say like at 5 or 6 mana, and you have like, you know, 5 tapped creatures, you could get 5 lands, which means your deck is now 5 lands lighter, and then there's a bigger or higher chance of you getting into the cards that you want to see, which I thought was, you know, looking at it like that, Harvest Season actually becomes a pretty good card, but I only think it's good for limited play at least. So for the lands, we have Desert of the Mindful. It's basically just, you know, blue mana, but it also cycles, and that is the most important thing about a land like this. You won't need the land in the end game, as I just said, so it's basically just going to be fill. Same goes for this one, Desert of the Indomitable. Basically does the same, only it's green mana. So we have this Haship Oasis, which is add colorless mana or pay 1 life and add green mana to your mana pool. And then you can pay 2 green and 1 colorless and tap this, sacrifice a desert. Then one of your creatures get +3/+3 until end of turn. And you can only activate this ability only the time you cast the sorcery. So it's good. I actually think it's very good, but it's because of the last effect that it gets to be good when you attack and you want to win the game. So yeah, that it's good. It's very good. Survivor's Encampment. I chose this one because I can tap one of my creatures to add mana, which means all of my creatures actually become mana fixers, which is going to be pretty good when I need the white mana in order to play, you know, a Ketra or any of the other cards. But this deck is, as you can see, basically blue-green, and then I splashed white, if I can find any of the white cards, that is. Do we actually only have 2 white cards in here? I actually think we do, yeah. So we have 2 white cards in this deck, you guys. Let me just make sure, yeah. 2 white cards, and the only reason that I put these 2 in are because, well, they are pretty ridiculous. And it's going to be pretty easy to find white mana, or even a source of white mana to get white mana at 4 mana. It's not going to be an issue on turn 4. So I pretty much think that the blue and green, which is an archetype that I usually don't play, but I have always thought I would really enjoy playing an archetype like this, you know, gaining the mana, going in for all of these ramp plays, and then just screwing your opponent over by canceling or countering or whatever you want to do, bouncing cards back to their hand, playing cards for less, playing flyers, playing flash spells, all of these kind of things that you wouldn't expect when you play against green. So if you open with green, and then you're going to be like, huh, I got blue too. So it's going to throw them off a bit, I think. It's not a popular archetype. Blue and green are definitely not the most played colors. So I actually think splashing the white as well, they won't see that coming for sure. So it's going to be pretty good. I actually think this deck is going to handle itself pretty well at a pre-release. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this view of the blue and green deck that I built right here with a splash of white. And I hope you did very well at your pre-releases this weekend. Remember that I'm going to open a ton of boosters when Hour of Devastation is coming out. I'm gonna open 100 booster packs in one video, so we're gonna see all of the goodness that the set has to offer. And hopefully we can get some awesome pulls when we get to that. That's gonna be Friday, 14th of July, so make sure you tune in at 3 p.m. PDT and then 6 p.m. EDT. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Please remember to thumbs up, comment, share, all that good stuff. You know the drill. It helps other people find my channel, and it makes it possible for me to do more videos for you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe.